Hello guys and welcome back to class. So today we are going to be doing something very interesting. Remember in the last class we built our first server, and now in this class we are going to be creating a mini blog. We'll be creating endpoints for a mini blog, and not just that, we will also be connecting it to an actual database. So I want you to engage in this class with an open mind, because it's going to seem confusing at first, but like I said, have an open mind and you get to understand better. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like us to get down to business. The first thing I would like to start with is the MongoDB, right? So in order for you to get started with these projects, these blog projects we're working on, you need to have a MongoDB account. So you go to mongodb.com, and while that loads, you should see the website in a bit. Okay, beautiful. This is the MongoDB website design as at this time. So if you are watching this at a different time, this website is likely to change, because I don't know, they have a lot of front-end developers in that company, and they tend to change the design of the websites almost every 6 months. Because the last time I checked MongoDB, it wasn't like this, but they've changed the styling. I mean, it gets better and better, so it's most likely it's not going to be like this when you are watching it. So the first thing I want to do is sign in, because I already have an account. So I'll go ahead and sign in. For those of you who don't have an account with MongoDB, I advise you use probably Google Authentication, or you use your GitHub, or you go ahead and input your email and then choose a password. That's after I click on sign up. Although I already have an account, so I'll just proceed to just go to my project's dashboard here. So yes, I have my own account. By the time you are done with creating an account, you can just click on this MongoDB Atlas logo to get to the project's dashboard. Now, if you look through, you can see a couple of projects. You can see Depeche, EdTech, these real estate sites, and a lot more. Now, these are projects I've actually worked on using MongoDB. But in this class, we're going to be creating a new project, and your dashboard is most likely going to be empty because you have definitely not worked on any project, definitely. So I'll delete this simple blog because I'm not using that project anymore. I just want to delete that. Just a minute, I understand, yes. Proceed to required action, delete this. I want to go ahead and delete this because I'm not using that project anymore. I don't see the point of keeping it if I'm not using it anymore. Okay, so that's deleting. So let's just wait for a few minutes while that starts. Okay, so I've deleted that project now, and I want to create a new project. So I'll just click on new project button over here on the top right, and then I'll just call this the same name of that project I deleted. Call it simple blog, because yeah, I don't have any additional tags I would like to add to it. So I'll just go ahead and click on next, and I don't have a specific member I would like to add because this is a solo project. So I'll click on create project. So we'll wait for a few seconds, and that's it. So we have our projects already created. As you can see here, we have projects called simple blog, and you can switch to other projects that you have, but we are not switching to that. I'm just on simple blog. So I'll create a cluster. A cluster is like a data section, okay? A section where you want some specific set of data to be stored. It's just like you having a crate of egg. A crate of egg is having 30 pores where you can actually put in a specific egg inside of it. So consider each pore that is holding the specific egg to be a cluster. Okay. What else can I use as an example? A crate of drink. Each section where a bottle is being held is considered to be a cluster. So you can consider that bottle to be like data. Then you can consider the area holding the bottle to be a cluster. So now let's create a cluster because we would like that to store our data. So I'm creating a cluster right now, and that's loading. And you have three plans. You have the one for 0.99 cents per hour. That means you'll be paying 9 cents per hour. That's the M10 cluster package. And we have the flex package where you'll be paying 1 cent per hour. But since this is a practical class and is a very small project, let's go with the free cluster plan here, which just gives us 512 MB size of storage, and the RAM is going to be shared, the CPU is going to be shared, so it doesn't have the most maximum performance. But for a practical class with a small project like this, I think that's very, very sufficient. So we have three providers. We have AWS, we have Google Cloud, we have Microsoft Azure. You can go ahead and pick any one of the providers you want. You can rename your cluster. This is currently on cluster 0. I'll just leave it that way because I don't want to change it, but you can go ahead and change it to wherever you want. Or we can just change it. So you can just say simple blog, right? And here is the region. This region possesses different servers. We have servers in Paris, we have in Stockholm, we have in Ireland, we have in Frankfurt, we have in Tokyo, Hong Kong, Singapore, Mumbai, that's in India, and we have in Seoul. A lot of servers, so you are literally supposed to select a server that is closer to you, but for me, I'll just go ahead and leave that at the default. So I'll create the deployment right now, and let's just wait a bit while it's loading. And now we already have this. Okay, yes, we have a few things we need to do. So now currently we have an information that says, so we have currently, you can see your current IP address is on 197.210.70.13, right? So this means that this is my current IP address. And just so you know, for those of you who are not aware, IP addresses are dependent on the network you are connected to at that specific point in time. So I'm currently connected to my MTN. So by the time I say, okay, I want to off my hotspot and reconnect again, the IP address is going to change, or I'm connecting to another network is going to change. So your IP address is not static, it is dynamic, it changes. And what implication that has on this is that when your IP address has changed, it's going to limit you from accessing this specific database. You have to put in your current IP address again, which is very, very stressful. So in order for us to solve this problem, we can go ahead and just whitelist our IP address. And in order to whitelist our IP address, we go to this place called network access. While that's loading, we'll just wait a little bit. Okay, now that we're in network access, we just go ahead and click on add IP address. So now we're an IP address. So now there's a specific IP address that we can add that helps us to whitelist. And by whitelist, I mean it's going to allow us to access this specific data at any location in the world, anywhere we are, irrespective of our IP address. It's not going to stop us from accessing what's there. And in order to whitelist it, you need to set your IP address to 0.0.0.0/0. So this is it. It's a static way of whitelisting. So please take note of this. It can come out in your exams. And then I'll go ahead and do what? Confirm. So it's going to load pending, as you can see. And in the process of it pending, I'm loading, is going to send you a mail, most likely telling you that, okay, oh yes, you are currently trying to whitelist and all that information that you need to know. So currently we are now active, so I can go ahead and just close this. And we have whitelisted that. That's step 1. Step 2, we have database created. That's done. We don't need to worry about anything about that. So now they say copy and save database user credentials. So normally we're supposed to copy and save this, but what I'm just going to go ahead and do is that I'll just download the env file and I'll save it inside of where my project is. So this is where my project is, in the desktop folder. It is called node course here. So I'll just save it here and I'll just save it. I will explain what an env file is later on. So after that, we just choose a connection method. So now we have multiple connection methods. We have drivers, we have Compass. Now, MongoDB Compass is that runs locally on your computer. It's a graphic user interface kind of software that allows you to be able to do your own MongoDB thingy in your computer locally. And we have Shell, we have MongoDB for VS Code, we have Atlas SQL. I'm just going to go with drivers. So we click on drivers. Ensure your Node.js version is not outdated. Mine is not outdated, so that's fine. Then you can copy this npm install MongoDB you need to install it on your computer. So you go to cmd, I'll go to command prompt and click on that. And then I'll just go ahead and put this npm install MongoDB. And when I do that, so it's just gonna load. That's loading. Okay, so we have successfully installed MongoDB on our computer, even though I already had it before, but I just did reinstallation because of you guys. So after that, you need to copy this code snippet here. When you copy this SRV, you need to copy it. Once you copy it, then you go into your env file, that one that you downloaded, and then you paste it here inside of Mongo URI. That's what they call a Mongo URI. Okay, that string is what facilitates connection between your project and the MongoDB database. After that is done, you just click on done, and now you have successfully connected your, almost not fully but partially connected your MongoDB to your project. Now next thing I want to do is, first of all, I want to rename this from Atlas Credentials.env. I'll just rename it to just .env because that's what I'm used to. Now let me explain what a .env file is. A .env file is a file that you add up to your code whenever you want to store secret and important information, things that you wouldn't like attackers to exploit via the browser. For example, when you are dealing with things like API keys, public keys, private keys, you are dealing with usernames, password, MongoDB URI, port numbers. Even this port number is not supposed to be exposed this way. It's supposed to be in our .env file, and we'll move that in the next video. So .env file is literally used for storing important credentials that should not be, should I say private credentials that should not be exposed or should not have the chance to be exploited. So that's just the most basic information that you need to know about this. In the next video, we'll be talking about how we can make use of Mongoose to interact with our MongoDB database directly with our project also. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great time.